Welcome to the BEASTwriter podcast. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be discussing wide receiver Deebo Samuel's injury and how that impacts the 49ers offense. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about Deebo Samuel. For those who don't know or don't remember, he missed the first 3 games of the 2020 season due to a Jones fracture. He was recovering from that injury, was sent to IR, came back, and now he's out again with a left leg hamstring injury. Now, this impacts the 49ers offense in a variety of different ways because, as we know, Deebo Samuel is the engine that makes that offense go. He can run jet sweeps, end arounds, orbit motions, bubble screens, down the seams, down the sidelines, and everything in between. So he's really the glue to that offense because defensive coordinators have to account for him on every snap, even if it's just as a decoy. When he runs those jet sweeps and then they run that inside zone run, that takes the linebackers out of their splits, forcing them to play outside, not having enough time to kick back inside, which leaves an open running lane for running backs like Raheem Mostert and players like that, whoever's in the backfield. All right, so talking about his impact and what he brings to the table, now what's done is done. We got to talk about who's going to step up. Of course, we know George Kittle is going to step up. It's George Kittle. He's the best tight end in the game, hands down. No offense to Travis Kelce, but George Kittle is the best tight end in the game. Sorry, not sorry. So with that being said, we know what we're getting with George Kittle, but the guy that I'm really counting on is Brandon Aiyuk. I'm really counting on Brandon Aiyuk to get the job done because the team traded up in the first round, number 25th overall, and Brandon Aiyuk brings a similar skill set to Deebo Samuel. I said it on draft day, and he's perfect for what Kyle Shanahan likes to do with the orbit motions, end arounds, jet sweeps. Same exact thing that Deebo Samuel brings to the table. Now, one thing that I like about Aiyuk is his ability in open space. What he does is, if you notice, Deebo Samuel is more of a physical runner. People even compare him to like a running back in open space. But Aiyuk is more of a shifty wide receiver, so he can make moves on moves, put people on skates, and really make forced missed tackles on the daily. All right, so we have a big game coming up against the Seattle Seahawks. So how is that going to come into play with Brandon Aiyuk and with Deebo Samuel out? Well, Brandon Aiyuk is coming off of his first 100-yard receiving game against the New England Patriots. And Bill Belichick, being one of the great defensive minds in the NFL that he is, in my opinion, the best defensive mind in the NFL, the 49ers held their own. Kyle Shanahan put Brandon Aiyuk in the best position to make plays. Although he didn't score a touchdown, he did have a significant impact in the outcome of that matchup. All right, look for a similar scenario up in Seattle. Now, Seattle plays a cover 3, so Robert Saleh knows all about that defense. For those who want some insight on the cover 3, a cover 3 defense is basically keeping everything in front, preventing the deep pass. So you have 3 defensive backs out, 4 underneath defenders. The 2 outside ones are defending the curl flat. The 2 inside backers are defending the hook curl, and basically giving up 6 and 7 yard passes, just the dinky donk passes. And that's how the Seahawks game plan is set up. Now, how do you beat a cover 3? Well, it's simple. You use bubble screens and then you use speed outs. So 8 to 15 yard speed outs, that's the game that Brandon Aiyuk is going to be used in, because if strong corners, or if you don't have strong corners, the speed outs are going to be open. And Brandon Aiyuk, being the guy that he is, he's really good at running speed outs and digs and so forth. So look for him to get those 6, 7, 8, 10 yard passes that really extends the chains and moves the chains for first downs. All right. Now, Quentin Dunbar and Trey Flowers are good, solid corners for the Seahawks defense, and Shaquille Griffin too. But what they don't provide is they don't provide deep speed. And Deebo Samuel has deep speed, but Brandon Aiyuk has deep speed. It's crazy how I just put 2 and 2 together. You see how similar they are. They're blurred into one, which is a great thing for Kyle Shanahan. So you get where I'm getting at, right? Deebo Samuel, Brandon Aiyuk, similar player. They're going to provide the same results or similar results because they do a lot of variety of similar things. All right, so if Brandon Aiyuk gets open down the seams, if he gets open on the speed outs, on the bubble screens, gets some first downs going, that will open up the play action pass. And from there, you open up Pandora's box for George Kittle down the seams. He can get open. You try to double him. Brandon Aiyuk can come across the formation pre-snap and then get one-on-one matchups that way. All right, so with all that being said, What do I think Brandon Aiyuk is going to have in terms of a game on Sunday? Well, he's going up against the NFC West leading Seattle Seahawks, who are 5-1. They're coming off a loss to the Arizona Cardinals, but with that being said, I believe Brandon Aiyuk will have a baller of a game. I predict he is going to have 7 catches for around 97 yards and 1 touchdown. Keep in mind they use him as a gadget player, so look for him to be used on end arounds, reverses, probably jet sweeps, orbit motion. They're going to use him all around the field. He should rack up at least 2 to 3 carries for 33 yards and possibly another touchdown. Yes, I'm putting it out there. Brandon Aiyuk scores at least one touchdown, possibly even 2 touchdowns. In fact, I have him in my fantasy football league. I am going to start him and bench Tyler Lockett, who's coming off a 200-yard receiving game and 3 touchdowns. Call me crazy. I just think Brandon Aiyuk is going to have a big game. Tyler Lockett, he'll probably score a touchdown, but I'm banking on Brandon Aiyuk to get it done. Brandon Aiyuk, make my prediction come true, please. Make my predictions come true. Alright, that's it for today. If you like what I had to offer, please subscribe to my YouTube channel in the lower right hand corner of your screen. Thank you for listening and have a good hump day. BEASTwriter out. Peace.